Hey, what's happening, guys? I have another rapid fire review for you today, and we're going to talk about the prequel that not too many people asked for, called Leatherface, starring Lily Taylor and Stephen Dorff. So, of course, this is the origin story of Leatherface, and it follows a group of teenagers that escape from a mental institution with a kidnapped nurse. They make a run for Mexico, killing anyone that comes in their way, all the while being chased by this ruthless sheriff that's hunting for revenge. Now, that's a serviceable plot line for a horror film, if you ask me. I don't think this movie was necessarily something I was interested in. I really prefer the mystery in my horror icons. I don't need to see prequels that show me how Michael Myers was bullied in social studies or how Jason skinned cats as a toddler. I don't need to see every piece of that. The unknown is sometimes better. Those shrouded elements of mystery are what made those characters so captivating, but in the world we live in today, with Hollywood and its revolving door of recycled properties, we get reboots, remakes, 10 to 15 year gaps between sequels, film adaptations from anything with a familiar name, and the more recent trend of prequel stories. So I guess it's really a case of 6 in one hand, half dozen in the other as to whether you prefer a part 8, 9, or 10 of a played out franchise or an origin story. I guess if the choice is between Texas Chainsaw Massacre 8, Leatherface goes to space, or like we got with Cult of Chucky this year, having multiple Leatherfaces with different personalities all in one movie, I'm gonna have to take the prequel every time. I mean, I took this film with a grain of salt. I was begging for it to give me a reason to hit the stop button so I could cut my losses, but it was surprisingly not that bad. It wasn't great. I have no urge to ever go out and see it again, but for 90 minutes, it was a decent horror flick with some strong shades of Texas Chainsaw in it now and then. This vision for the origins of Leatherface was simplistic and kind of a mishmash of others that we have seen before, but it kept a fast pace. It was loaded with lots of gore and some solid practical effects. It has glimpses of the twisted world that the franchise is based in, and while it may not have been overly ambitious, it showed some mild effort, and it didn't feel like a pure cash grab. I thought the performances were all pretty good. Lily Taylor was great as the mother, and she has some very intense scenes. Stephen Dorff was pretty good as well, despite feeling like Dorff at times, but he was more than serviceable for the needs of his character. I thought the 5 younger performers were all surprisingly capable as well. They all fit their specific roles extremely well. They conveyed the tension between their various dynamics effectively. The story generated a lot of uneasiness and some mild misdirection, I guess, and it wasn't overly compelling, but it was definitely enjoyable for a home entertainment watch. The direction was pretty solid. The locations and backdrops are all pretty well selected to kind of showcase many twisted, ominous locations throughout the story, and like any Chainsaw film should do, it really captured the ruralness and the bleak settings of Texas very well, specifically Texas during that time period. This film isn't going to blow you away with any unique concepts, and for a bulk of it, the feeling of it being a Texas Chainsaw film were kind of non-existent. It does feel more like a Rob Zombie movie at times, and I would have liked a more true origin story molded to Leatherface. It does have its moments, but it felt more like a generic serial killer template that just so happened to be able to work with Leatherface as opposed to a story that was really tailored for him. But overall, I'm going to give Leatherface 65% on the entertainment meter. It was a decent watch, not nearly as bad as I was expecting. I don't think anyone's going to love this movie, but you're either going to find it to be a fun one-time watch or just overall not that good if your expectations are a little high or if you're a big fan of the franchise. And those are my thoughts on Leatherface, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to give it a thumbs up. I'd greatly appreciate it. Don't forget to subscribe so you can catch all the new reviews. As always, thank you so much for watching, guys. I'm Anthony. This is the Silver Screen Analysis, and I'll see you at the movies.